Hi there! In today's video we are going to do some code review. So I got a pull request on my ChatWTF GitHub repository and they added a copy button to it so that you can copy the response from the chatbot. Kind of like in the actual ChatGPT. So let's go over this pull request and see how they did it and if it actually works and if we can make it better. So let's go to the Files Changed tab and let's see what they actually did. So I guess for those who don't know what this project is about, this is an AI chatbot that I created that uses the OpenAI API. So it's basically a ChatGPT clone and it's made with PHP and JavaScript. So if I go here and I start up this service and I go to this URL, here we have ChatWTF and I can say anything to this chatbot like create a PHP login system and then it will do some kind of code hopefully. Yes, and here we have a login system in PHP and it's still going and it's using MySQL here and it's doing some MD5 apparently is what you do with passwords nowadays. Okay. Anyway, it works just like ChatGPT. But in ChatGPT you actually have the copy button here so you can copy the code or you can copy the whole message from ChatGPT. So this pull request should do something like that. So let's see what is going on here. So here we normally are adding the message to the message box, but they added some massive code here. So, okay, so they're actually inlining an SVG here. All right. And they add a button and a container for the whole thing. All right. Not really how I would have done it, but okay. And what are we doing here? Then we are selecting the copy container in the message and all of them. And then we are looping through all of those and adding an event listener on the click event, which will convert the message from HTML to no HTML. Okay. And then it will decode the HTML and then it will copy it to the clipboard. Okay. Now what does copy to clipboard do? Okay, here we have a decode HTML function which creates a text area and sets its inner HTML to the HTML given and then gets the value of the text area. So I guess this is kind of a hack to like remove the HTML entities or something like that. And here we have a copy to clipboard function that takes the element and the text to copy. And it gets the button from the element and then it creates a text area again and sets the value of the text area to the text and then adds the text area to the body, selects the text in the text area and executes the copy command and then removes the text area. So it's just a temporary text area to copy the text. And then we are getting the SVG element and we are checking if it is the tick symbol, if it includes this text. Okay. And if it is not the tick symbol, then apparently this makes it a tick symbol. All right. Now, let's see if this actually works. I think we can make this a whole lot better. But let's see if it works. So I will not merge this pull request right now, but let's go to Bebix91 and let's clone this GitHub repository. So let's start a new terminal here and I'll just make a new folder here. Copy paste. I mean, I guess it's just copy, but let's then go to copy paste and let's do git clone this. All right, and we are cloning and then let's change to ChatWTF and let's change to PHP and let's do PHP as localhost 8086. And let's open this up and we got an error because I have to add the settings. So let's create another terminal. So let's do cp php /settings.php to copy paste ChatWTF PHP. And let's go back here and refresh and now it works. And we actually still have our message history here because we are still on localhost. And yes, we have a copy button here. All right, and I guess if we click it, it turns into a tick symbol. All right, let me zoom in a little bit. So if I copy this whole thing, it turns into a tick symbol. And if I go here and I paste it in here, it will look like this. Okay. Now, it kind of worked, but what is this index.php here? Okay, so it doesn't really handle the new lines properly. And actually what I would like it to do here is it should include the markdown ticks as in the original ChatGPT response. So if we go to the script.js and we go to the update message function, and here we are doing the copy stuff, and here we are adding the SVG image to the button. So let's actually do this, because I don't really want to pull this as it is to my master branch. Then what if I do something like git checkout b develop? I should have a develop branch. So could I now pull the changes from the other repository into this branch and then make my changes and then merge this into the master branch? So hopefully then the commit history stays there, and then this person who made the pull request will be added to the contributors in this project. I hope that's how it works. I'm not quite sure. So let's do this. Let's go back to here. And can I like copy this and then do something like git remote add this? No, that's not how it works. Git remote add options name URL. Okay, so I have to say git remote add debix91/chatwtf that. Okay, that worked. So now I guess what I could do is I could say git merge debix91/chatwtf. Okay, I shouldn't have added the slash here probably, because now I have to do /master. Or is it a colon? Let's see. If I do that, not something we can merge. Git remote. Okay, maybe it's just git merge and then do a space here. Not something we can merge. Is it because of the slash? Do I have to do something like git remote remove debix91/chatwtf? And then I have just origin. And then I can do git remote add, and I will just put debix91. And then I will do git merge debix91 master. No. Oh no, I know what it is. I have to fetch it first. Git fetch. And nothing happened. Can I do it now? No. Git status. Did I have to add the F flag to this one? Git remote add F already exists. Let's go back and let's rename this debix91b. Okay, now we actually pulled it there. So now I should be able to do git merge debix91b master. No. Do I have to say /master? Okay. That worked. So maybe my original syntax was just wrong and I could have done it from the beginning. So now if I do git log, then here we have my fixed new chat link, and then we have from debix91 update script.js. Okay, and we are on the develop branch. Great. So if I actually just do git push and I have to set it to origin develop, then now we should have a develop branch in GitHub. So if I go to ChatWTF, and develop had recent pushes less than a minute ago. Okay, so now we have master and develop. And if we go to develop and we go down here, then we have debix91 here in the commit history. Great. So now let's clean up that code a bit. So the first thing I will do is I will move this SVG into its own file. So let's do make directory images, and let's code images/copy.svg. And I'll just paste it in here. I think this is how it works, because an SVG is just an XML file. And then I can go back here and I can copy this part of the SVG and go back here and replace that with this. So this should be now the tick symbol. So if I then go code images/tick.svg and I paste this here and I revert these changes, then now I should have two images there. So let's actually see if I do xdg open images/copy.svg. Then here we have the image of a copy button. So if I zoom in here, we can see that there is some sort of copy button here. So now what we can do is we can go back to our script. And actually I don't want to change this copy paste anymore. I will in fact stop this from here. And I will actually delete this whole folder here. So rmrf copy paste and delete that. So now we have only an image folder here, but actually I should move the image folder into the PHP folder because I have created this weird folder structure here. So if I now check this, we have php/images. Okay. So now we can go back to the script.js and we can change this. Instead of having the SVG here, we will only have the button and we will add the image with CSS. And I will remove this extra new line here. And I do not think that I need this container here. So I will remove that as well. And I will remove this commented out previous version. And somehow I would prefer if these were on separate lines. So let's add first the p tag, so just like it was originally, and then we will add the button to that. And then here we are selecting all of the copy containers, and then for each of them we are adding the click event. But we are selecting them from the message, but there's only one copy container. I think this was made by copying this highlighting code. But we don't actually have to do this thing at all. We can just do this. In fact, we can leave this as it was. And we can say here, let copy button equal document.createElement, which will be a button. And we will say copy button class list add copy. And then we are going to say copy button dot add event listener click. And we will pass in a function. And inside this function, here we are converting the HTML to not HTML. But we don't actually have to do this because the message that comes from the ChatGPT API is in Markdown. And here we are converting from Markdown to HTML. But I am reusing this variable. So we should actually do something like HTML message. And we will add the HTML message to this message container. And I don't know why I use two different kinds of quotes here. And then we will actually have the new message as the Markdown version, which we want to copy. So I think we can just do this. Instead of doing all of this creation of a text area and appending it to the body and then selecting and then doing exec command copy, which actually you can see here that it is deprecated. We can use the new version of this API, which is something like navigator.clipboard.writeText, and we just pass in the new message. Now I wonder if it's going to work like this. Is JavaScript going to save this permanently somewhere that we can actually use it? Where is this stored? I think it actually will work. And then we can just say message.appendChild copy button. And we don't need any of this. And we do not need the decode HTML. And we don't need the copy to clipboard. And to change the icon from the copy symbol to the tick symbol, we can just pass in the element here. And then we can say element.classList.add. And we add copied to it. And then we can do that in CSS, that the button image will change depending on if the class is copy or copied. So let's do that. Then we have to actually do the CSS. So let's go to our style.css and let's add here button.copy. And what will it look like? Let's do background black for now and border radius 5 pixels. Color, well actually we can't do this because our SVG is black and I don't think we can change the SVG color from CSS, so we will actually do white. And we don't have to set color because we are just using the image, so we can just say background will be URL images/copy.svg, and we can do something like padding 0 and width 20 pixels, height 20 pixels. And let's put the background in the middle. And then we can add the button.copy.copied. And it will have a different background. So I will set it to copied. What did I call it? tick.svg. And let's actually see what this looks like now. So I have the server still running here. So let's go to our website. And let's refresh. And let's go back here. And we have a very weird looking copy button here because we are actually repeating the background. So what I have to do is I have to say no repeat. I'm not quite sure of the order of these things in the background, but it seems like every order works. It doesn't matter how you put them here. It always works. So let's do that. And of course, I can't set two backgrounds. I have to say it is FFF here and then in the middle, and URL is this and no repeat. Now perhaps that is too many things to put in the wrong order, so it might not work. But I can probably say here just background image, and I set just the image because I don't want to change the other things. And I don't want to change them in many places if I want to do something differently in the future. So let's refresh this. And now we have a white copy button, which is not quite in the middle for some reason. Let's see if this works. So if I go down here, now it's in the bottom. So if I click this, it did not work because it did not change to a different symbol. But let's see if we copied something. Yes, we actually copied it. So now we have these tick symbols here. So this is just a raw output from ChatGPT API. And I believe that the actual ChatGPT website also does this. If you copy the whole message and you have code in there, it will have the markdown in there. So it works, but for some reason changing the image did not work. Let's inspect the situation. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading add. Class list. Why did that not work? Did I use L somewhere else? No. So do we get this error every time we click here? Yes, so that's the problem. Why does that happen? EL, class list, add. Copy button, add event listener. Sorry, this is the event, it's not the element. So I have to do target. Element, target, event, target, class list, add, copied. Okay, that should work. So if we refresh this now and we go down here and we click here, it still doesn't work. But we do not get an error. I think this is because the background will override background image. So we actually, no, the reason is I didn't change the image. So we have to go back here and actually change this to tick. So now if we go here and we click, it will change. And if we go into a new file and we paste, then we have it here. And if we copy the other one, copy, and we paste, we get everything. Okay, so now it works. Now it looks a bit weird. What is that little rectangle on top? I don't know why that is there. Is that in the image? Images/tick.svg. Okay, I accidentally closed Chrome, so let's do this again. Images/tick.svg. And yes, there is actually this weird symbol in there. Why does it look like that? So I will in fact change the image. Now one cool thing we could actually do is maybe create an SVG image with ChatWTF. Create an SVG image of a copy button, clipboard button, 20x20. I'm sorry, I cannot create visual content as I am a text-based program. You can create the XML for the SVG. Certainly. Here's the XML for a clipboard button SVG with the dimensions of 20 by 20. Okay, let's see if this actually works. Let's go to our copy.svg and paste this in here. And let's actually refresh this right away. And it is a black box. Okay, well that was a failure. So should we use FontAwesome or something? Let's use FontAwesome. Although I don't really like to use it because we just need it for these couple symbols and we have to include the whole thing. But we can use the CDN, so it's not that bad. So let's go to Start and let's actually go to FontAwesome CDN and go here and we will copy the solid.min.js as the link tag and we will go to index.php and we will add it here alongside the other stuff that we are using. And now that we have FontAwesome, we can do something like this. We need to do let icon equal document.create element I, and icon dot add class list dot add, and we will add FA and FA copy clipboard. I wonder what the name of the clipboard icon is in FontAwesome. FontAwesome clipboard icon. It is called clipboard and it looks like this. Okay. And is there some kind of tick icon? Tick. Ticket. Tick. Check. Okay. So we will add FA clipboard, and then when we copy it, we will add FA check, and we should remove FA clipboard. Remove FA clipboard and add FA check. And we should do copy button dot add append child icon. And should we do some spacing here? Or let's do that first. Create the icon, then create the copy button. Still looks horrible. So we are creating an icon with the I element and adding a class FA and FA clipboard to it. Then we are creating a button and we add the class copy to it and we append the icon to it. And then we add the event listener for the copy button, which will copy the message, and then it will change the class name of the icon from FA clipboard to FA check. And we don't actually have to pass the E over here. So that should work. Let's go to our style, and we don't have to have a copied anymore, and we don't have to have anything else but a white background. And I will also rmrf images / because I do not need the images. And actually there was no images, it is in PHP / images. So let's go back to our chatbot, and it does not look like I want it to look. Maybe the color is white now. So we have the element here, the icon, color black. No. Are we including solid.min.j? Yes. Let's do all for now so that we actually for sure get this icon. So let's do that instead. And let's go here. Okay, now we get the icon here. It's not in the solid version, it's in the all version. Now it is kind of wasteful to load all of the icons just to use a copy icon, but it is what it is. So I want to remove the border from this. So let's go here and say border 0. And I will actually put it position absolute and top 10 pixels, right 10 pixels, so that it will be over here. Now it's over here because these messages do not have a position relative. So I need to say chat message position relative and refresh. And for some reason it doesn't work. Where is this located? Chat message. That is interesting. Why did it not update that? I didn't save it. So let's go back and refresh. So now we have the copy symbol over here in the top right corner. And if I copy that text and I paste it, it works. If I copy this text and I paste it, it works. And we are changing the icon to copied. And I can copy this one and paste it, and it works. So now it works pretty nicely. I will move it a little bit more to the top because it seems like it might be on top of the text sometimes. So let's do that. Okay, that looks a bit better. So now we can actually copy these things. And let's try again with some code. Write hello world in C. Well, it didn't include the markdown now. Write hello world in Rust. Let's do a new one. Create a login system in PHP. Okay, hopefully we will get some code here. Now this is interesting that the ChatGPT API doesn't always use the markdown ticks for code. But in the actual ChatGPT, I cannot make it write code without the ticks. So it's always formatted as code. I'm not sure what is going on there. But yeah, we got some code here. So now if we go up here and we click here and we go to our text editor and we paste it here. Then now we actually have these markdown ticks here, and we copied the whole thing. And this time we're actually using password verify, not MD5. So that looks pretty nice. Now, I don't really like how close it is now to the top, so I will still change it a little bit. I will do 10 pixels, but I will actually add padding to the messages. Chat message. Padding will be 10 and 25. That's a bit too much. Let's not do that. Let's just have it this way. That is just fine. If there is some text in the end, it will be a little bit on top, but I do not care at the moment. So let's go back to our Zoom. And now it actually works. Now we can copy the whole response from ChatWTF. So let's actually commit these changes and compare this to the original pull request. What did we change from that? So let's do git add p, and let's do that, and this, and that, and that, and did we have something else? No, that's all. So I will do git commit m refactored copy functionality, and I will push this. If I can write push, git push, and now we are in the develop branch. So if I go back here and I refresh, then now we can make a pull request from here to master. And I think that before that we can select another branch. Can we compare across forks? Can we compare this to debix91? So what did we change compared to this pull request? So now if we go down here, then we added this, and we changed this from new message to HTML message so that we can actually use the original markdown message for the copy functionality. And we removed all of this SVG from here and just went back to the previous one. And then we removed all of this stuff and we added all of this stuff. So we're not converting the HTML back to plain text because we have the plain text or the markdown version here already. And then we don't need these because there's a new API for the copy to clipboard functionality, and we move this isTick symbol in here to just change the class of the icon in the button. Now, this is kind of not even necessary to do this. You don't have to check if the tick symbol is there, unless you want to be able to untoggle it, but I don't think that really is necessary. And then we added some styling for the copy button and the position relative to the chat message so that we can actually position the button in the top right corner. So now I can actually merge this. Well, actually make a pull request first. So I will go back to the original, my version, and here we are doing these changes. Okay. And I will call this pull request added response copy functionality. Refactored original copy functionality by debix91. Why can't I tag anybody here? In number 1, pull request. How do I do pull request? Pull request 1. Oh, it's not number 1. It's number 8. Really? Why is it 8? I guess it gets the same numbering as the issues. Ah, that's correct. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. Refactored original copy functionality by debix91 in pull request number 8. And I will create a pull request and I will merge it, confirm. And then what I can do is I can go to the pull requests and, oh, did it close that automatically? Ah, because it was merged. Okay, so this makes sense. So I've been wondering this thing for a long time, like how do I make changes to a pull request? When someone makes a pull request and I like what they did, but I want to change it a little bit before I pull it. So this is apparently the way, because it says in the pull request, I don't know if I can see this still here. No, I can't, but usually it says that you can edit this pull request by pushing to the branch where it's being pulled from. And apparently I will have access to change it when they make a pull request, but I don't want to change other people's repositories. But this is the way to do it. So you create your own branch and then you add the pull request branch as a remote and you merge that to your branch. Then you make the changes and you create a new pull request. And then it actually closes the original pull request. And it will be merged as well. So that's good. Because of course, if you just copy, I could copy from the files changed all the things that I want to use and then make that in my own branch. But then there's no commit history and the original creator doesn't go into the contributors. But now I guess that if I go to my ChatWTF, I will have 2 contributors. So thank you very much for Debix91. You are the second contributor to ChatWTF. And if you want to get added to the contributors, then feel free to make a pull request on the ChatWTF GitHub repository. And if you make some good changes, then I will merge them. And make sure to subscribe to my channel so you get videos like this in the future. And you will see your code featured if you make a pull request. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.